Yes, mates, how's it going? My name's Lee, and welcome back to the FPL Punk YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll be taking an early look at players for Game Week 18. These include transfer targets you might want to buy, out-of-form players you might want to sell, and even some players you should wait on before making a final decision. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe down below for more FPL content. Anyway, let's rock and roll.
Get strong.
Right, mates, first up, we've got a goalkeeper. And now, I don't normally talk about goalkeepers as potential transfer options, just because I think it's a case of whoever you've got, you just play and kind of stick with them. But I think there's a lot of goalkeepers that are massively underperforming, particularly for a team like me that's got Verbruggen and Flecken that are doing nothing. I think I have to consider someone like Alisson. Plays for one of the best defenses in the league. When he has played, he's been absolutely class. So, 5.4 million goalkeeper right now. Probably one of the cheapest ones when it comes to the premium side. Goalkeeper Liverpool, like we all know how good Liverpool have been defensively this season. And he's only 5.7% owned so far. So with his stats this season, he's made 7 appearances so far in the league. He's kept 4 clean sheets in those 7 games. I know they've not been easy games, they've played Man United in that run as well, and he kept a clean sheet against them. He's got 36 points so far in the league. And I think that matches the likes of Verbruggen and Flecken that have played every single game so far. So just kind of getting to a point now, and I feel like I just need to kind of just do something and just kind of get it, like actually get a good goalkeeper. Because I keep getting these poor goalkeepers with the likes of Verbruggen and Flecken, and they're just not doing bits, mate. And I'm just a bit fed up about it. So when Alisson has played, some of his key stats per 90 at Liverpool have only conceded 0.58 goals per 90, and their expected goals conceded whilst he's been on the pitch is 0.72. So they're not conceding a lot of expected goals, but their defense is even better than what the data suggests. But he's still making 2.33 saves per 90 as well. So he's on that kind of cusp of getting those save points. So you get 1 extra point for every 3 saves. So he's on that kind of borderline. So I think he'll always be there or thereabouts when it comes to the bonus. When if Liverpool do keep a clean sheet and it's a relatively low scoring game, say like if they win 1-0, 2-0, then there's a chance that Alisson might be there or thereabouts when it comes to the bonus. He's still getting 5.1 points per match so far, and that's because the sample size is so small because he's only played 7 games. And Liverpool have got a great run coming up. They've got Leicester at home in Game Week 18, where he's predicted to get 4.7 points. West Ham away in Game Week 19, where he's predicted to get 4.1 points. Even Man United at home, I think any home game for Liverpool is going to be good. Nottingham Forest away in 21, great game again, and they've reclassified some of the fixture difficulty ratings. And Brentford away is now considered a difficult fixture. I don't think it particularly is. I think Liverpool are just that strong as a defence that they keep a clean sheet in any game. But I think if you are looking for a goalkeeper and you want to look at some of the more premium guys, I think you just have to go and get Alisson. I think if I was going to get any goalkeeper right now, if I was wildcarding, I would just go and get Alisson. Like, it's just a no-brainer for me. The next defender I want to take a look at is Timothy Castagne, and with the injury to Tete, it looks like Castagne is going to be the first choice right back. And I've kind of got him down as kind of like a buy, kind of wait and see, just because I'm recording this before the Fulham game. I don't know if he is guaranteed 2 starts. I'll probably see if he is going to play. I'm guaranteed right back, and then maybe make a move from there. I think he's just that cheap at 4.2 million, and he's only 1.1% owned. He's barely played any minutes in the league. He's only played 190 minutes so far. So like, I've not included any of his key stats per 90 just because it doesn't really feel relevant at all. He's only got a total of 6 points so far in the league, so it's just like it's not great from like a stats or data point of view. But I think if he can start, he can get into the team. Fulham do have a nice run coming up, and I think if you are looking at the likes of someone like an Anthony Robinson, I think if you can save 0.5, 0.6 million and look at someone like Castagne, I would probably consider Joachim Anderson as well. But with Anderson having some injury issues, I'd probably lean more towards Castagne. Just keep an eye out for him, see if he plays, and if he does play, I think he might be an absolute bargain. Like we've all seen how attacking he can be in the past, that he has got those attacking returns. And the reason why he might be a wait and see as well is that he doesn't have a great fixture in Game Week 18 away to Chelsea. After that, they've got a couple of decent home games, home to Bournemouth in Game Week 19, followed by at home to Ipswich. Predicted to kind of get a range of 3.6, 4.1, like around that, and for either of those games. Game Week 21 away to West Ham, and Game Week 22 away to Leicester there as well. So I think you could play him in the majority of the next 5, and that's the reason why I kind of like him. But for now, just kind of wait and see if he does play in Game Week 17 against Southampton, and then just kind of reassess it from there. But Castagne, I think if you're looking for a cheap option, I think he's solid, mate. The first midfielder I wanted to discuss is Enzo Fernandez, and just carrying on from last week, he got another assist, and he just looks good again in that advanced position. And I think we just need to consider him as an option now. I brought him in a couple of weeks ago. I think for 5.1 million, I think he's a great option. Like, there's a few around that kind of price point now, and we'll discuss a couple of them later on in the video. But I think if you are looking for a secondary one, I think Enzo should be the one to go for. I think if you've already got the likes of Rodgers or Ahmad or Ismail Assar or Semenyo, when you're looking for another budget midfielder, I think Enzo is probably the one, to be honest. Just with the quality of Chelsea's fixtures and how advanced he has been, and as long as he keeps staying advanced, then I do think he's a great option. Some of his general stats this season, he's made 14 appearances with 3 goals and 4 assists, total of 54 points so far in FPL. Some of his key stats per 90, specifically from game weeks 12 to 17, are pretty good for a central midfielder, to be fair. He's so far per 90, he's getting 2 shots per 90, 2.4 key passes. His XG and his expected assists is actually higher compared to his general averages over the course of the season. So he's performing better over the last 4, 5, 6 game weeks or so, where his XG has gone up to 0.25, and his expected assist is around 0.34. His points per match still isn't great, but I think for those early games he was sitting quite deep, and I came out with some quotes the other day saying he's enjoying playing further forward, and that's kind of what he wants to be doing, and he kind of enjoys getting involved with the goals and getting the assists and things like that. So I think we'll see him there more often, to be honest. So I do really like him as an option. And Chelsea have great games coming up, where they've got Fulham at home in game week 18. I think Fulham are a good team, but I think they can be got at certain times. They seem a bit kind of hit and miss, and Chelsea could do quite well in that game. And because it is a home game as well, that's the reason why I do like it. Ipswich away in game week 19 is just a prime game. A really, really nice way to predict to get 4.1 points in that game. Game week 20, and the way to Crystal Palace. Bournemouth at home in game week 21, and then followed by Wolves at home in game week 22. So they've got a few home games in this run here against pretty good teams, and even after game week 22, the run kind of continues on to about game week 26 and they've kind of got Man City dotted kind of in and around there somewhere, but I think you could rest them for one game and bring them back in for some good games after that as well. But Enzo Fernandez, I think if you're looking for a midfielder around the 5 million bracket, I think he's probably the best right now. Alright mates, next up we've got Bukayo Saka, 10.6 million now. Midfielder for Arsenal, 42.4% owned. And his general stats for the season are just great. He's made 15 appearances so far in the league with 5 goals, 11 assists, 106 points so far. And I would love to say that he's still a buy, but he's probably just a wait for me right now. I think if you don't own him, you've probably missed the chance. I know he's blanked a lot in recent games, and if he does really well this weekend, people might kind of flood onto him and for game week 18. And if you kind of want to just go for that 1 week punt at home to Ipswich in game week 18, go for it, I guess. Yeah, I'd do it. They've still got good games, but then after game week 18, they've got Brentford away, Brighton away, Spurs at home, and then Aston Villa at home as well. So I think those 4 games probably aren't the best games to bring him in for. So he's kind of on that kind of borderline of kind of wait and see and buy. I think you probably might want to lean more towards buy. Like if you are looking for that kind of consistent performer in the likes of Bukayo Saka, then yeah, do it, mate. Like I've got no issues about anyone bringing him in. I think Saka will always do well against anybody at any point in the season. I don't think the fixtures matter with Saka. Like even if his run was 5 red fixtures in a row, so like it was like Man City away, Liverpool away, Man United away, like even though it's not like probably not a difficult games, Spurs away, blah blah blah. You know, like I think you could bring him in even for that one. He's so consistent and he can return in every single game. He probably is more of a buy, but I think with the kind of run coming up, that's probably why it's probably like a bit more of a wait and see for me. But like his key stats per 90 are great, and like even over the course of the season, like even his last 5 games, they've been great all year. Like even over the last 5 games. Like he's still getting 3.16 shots per 90 with 2.95 key passes. His XG is pretty low at 0.17, but his expected assist is at 0.47. So he's still getting returns, and he's still going to get returns. The one thing that just irritates me all the time about Saka is the fact that he just occasionally gives away penalties. Like I don't understand. Like you're the penalty taker, you take the penalties. Don't give him to Odegaard. Like I just don't get it. Like I just really don't get it. But I think if you want him and you want to go and do it, go for it, mate. I've got no issues about anyone bringing him in. He's an absolute monster, and he'll continue to keep getting returns over this run, over the course of the season, and it feels like a season. It just feels like a season keeper for me, to be honest. Moving on to Amad Diallo, and I feel like everyone's talking about him right now. And United fans have been banging on about him for quite a while now. Like he is class, mate. Like he's so silky and so classy. Like we all saw how good he was at Sunderland, playing in that kind of similar role to what he's doing now, where he's kind of floating in off that right wing. And for me right now, like he is probably first choice number 10. Like I think he's ahead of Garnacho. I think he's ahead of Rashford, and with Mason Mount being injured, I think it's basically going to be Bruno Fernandes and Amad Diallo playing in behind the striker. We've got other players that can play wing back. We've got the likes of Mazraoui and Dallo, and we've got a couple of youth players with some like Harry Amas. So we've got players there capable of playing in those wing back positions. And with the January transfer window close on the horizon, I don't know if we are interested in any kind of wing backs, but there's a couple of decent young guys at Sporting Lisbon that I know Amarin kind of fancies bringing across as well. So Amad Diallo, mate, is just an absolute beast, and I think he'll continue to be a beast. Everyone's kind of flooding in on him. Everyone's flooding in on him and just continually bringing him in as a transfer. And like his price has gone up now to 5.3 million. Still only 15.3% owned. So far in the league, he's made 14 appearances with 2 goals and 7 assists. I didn't realise he had 7 assists so far. That's quite impressive, actually. And a lot of those returns have come in the last maybe 7 or 8 games or so. And I just like him, mate. I just think he's so classy and so silky in the ball. And he's surprisingly quick as well. Like we saw against Man City, that when he takes it down the wing, he's a lot quicker than he looks. Some of his key stats per 90 between game week 12 and 17. He's getting 2.67 shots per 90 with 1.56 key passes. He's got an XG of 0.26 and expected assists of 0.1. So his expected data is probably not great, and his underlying data is probably not as good as some of the other ones, but I think he's just in good form, mate. I just think he looks really good. Like, even when he came on against Spurs in midweek in the cup, we just look like a different team. Like we actually look like we're going to create one of the hardest working players in our team right now. Like the way he closed down Fraser Foster was like I don't see many players in a Man United shirt do that kind of thing or have that kind of work rate and that kind of effort. He just wants it, and that's the reason why that's the reason why the fans like him. That's the reason why everyone kind of likes him. And we've got good games coming up as well. Like a couple of tough games kind of dotted around in there, but he returned against Man City. Like he scored against Liverpool in the past. So game week 18 away to Wolves, good game. At home to Newcastle, any home game I think is going to be good for us now. Liverpool away, he scored a really important goal against Liverpool in the past. So I wouldn't even mind playing him that. Like if he was kind of forced to. Southampton at home in game week 21 and Brighton at home in game week 22. I think my only issue probably would be minutes. I think he's probably going to play about 75 minutes in most weeks. I think it would be important to have a decent bench if you are going to bring Diallo in, just in case. And the way and the way I want to set my team up, and the way I've seen a lot of people want to set their teams up, is to have the 3 premium midfield of Saka, Salah and Palmer, and then 2 budget ones. I've currently got Enzo Fernandez and Eberiche Eze. Eze's out injured. I already took a -8 last week. I'm probably going to take another hit this week to get Diallo in, just so I can move some money around. I'm probably looking at Alisson as well. It's probably my early transfer plans to take a -4. Amad Diallo in for Eberiche Eze and Verbruggen out for Alisson. And I just really like the moves. I just think he's class, mate. Absolute class. We've got Bournemouth this week, and I think he'll do really well once again. And if he does, I think people are just going to absolutely steam onto him. I can see his price being around 5.5 by the time the deadline for the next weekend comes up. Class, mate. Just watch him. He's an absolute baller. The first forward I wanted to discuss was Matthias Cunha, and he's very much a sell, mate. Like, just put that out there straight away. 7.1 million. Forward for Wolves, 23.1% owned, so he's still got massive ownership. He's he's been class this year, mate. Like, he's 16 appearances, 8 goals, 3 assists, and he got a total of 86 points. Just had like a moment of madness and kind of hitting the steward and taking his glasses. Like I know people downplaying the glasses, but mate, if someone took my glasses, I'd be absolutely fuming, mate. Like I just don't know what he's doing. I just don't know what Aït-Nouri's done. I don't know what I don't know what Cunha's done. I think they've just completely lost their head. Mate, they've got a terrible run of fixtures now, Wolves. He's he's gonna get banned. He looks like he's gonna play against Leicester. It is Leicester, isn't it? And then it looks like he might play against Man United in game week 18, but it depends what time the ban's gonna come in. I think he might get quite a sizable ban. I think it might be 3, 4, 5 games. He's just a he's just a really easy sell. I think there's a few players you could look at. We'll take a look at a player in a moment, but like if you can afford anyone really, and you can move up to like an Isak, I absolutely love going for Isak. I think if Nicholas Jackson does eventually get booked, then maybe you can bring him after when he does serve his suspension. Or if you kind of fancy that he's not going to get booked till game week 19, 20, and he's going to avoid the suspension, go for someone like a Nicholas Jackson. I've not included any predicted points underneath any of the fixtures because I think he's going to be banned. Yeah, I have nothing more to say on it. I think the guy's an idiot. I think that kind of stupidity might cost him a move to one of the bigger teams. I think it looked like the likes of Man United and Spurs were kind of sniffing around. That kind of thing can't fly when you're at the big boys. Like no disrespect to someone like a Wolves, but like imagine a Liverpool or a Man City or like a Man United player doing something like that, mate. Like all hell would break loose. So I think he's lucky that he plays for Wolves. He's lucky that there's no kind of criminal charges being kind of pressed against him. Like whether there is, like I don't actually know. But imagine there's not. Yeah, mate. Silly boy. Stupid, mate. Sell him. One of the forwards I think you could replace Cunha with is actually Chris Wood. And I said, I told people to sell him maybe 5 or 6 weeks ago. And that was probably the right thing at that time. I kept him just because I didn't have any kind of free transfers to move it around. 6.6 million, I think is a really good price point. At 23.2% owned, it looks like his price might increase. And he's kind of on that buy kind of wait kind of range where the only reason why I think he's a wait is because they've got Spurs at home in game week 18, where it's considered like a tough game. Can you imagine Spurs walking up to the City ground and Chris Wood absolutely bullying them and just pushing them all over the place and bagging a couple of goals, mate? I can just see it straight away. So I think he's a good player, mate. I think he'll continue to score goals. I don't think he'll score goals at the same rate as he's done. I mean, he's got 10 goals in 15 games so far in the league. I don't think he'll keep that up, but can I see Chris Wood ending the season on something like 18, 19, 20 goals over the course of the season? Yeah, 100%, mate. Like he's a poacher. Like he doesn't get a lot of shots away, as you can see by his key stats per 90 over the last 5 games, where he's only getting 1.81 shots per 90, but a lot of those tend to be really good chances. Like the goal that got ruled out recently, and I forgot who it was against, but it got fed across the face of the goal, and it's just an easy tap in. He gets a lot of chances like that. Like he's still getting an XG of 0.4, still putting up decent numbers. From like an assist and a creative point of view, like he does absolutely nothing. But that's not Chris Wood's game. It's back to goal, hold up the ball, pass it out wide, get in the box, try and get in the end of crosses, and sniff out those second balls and those kind of balls across the box. That's Chris Wood's game, and they've got some decent games coming as well. So like even after Spurs at home in game week 18, they've got Everton away in game week 19, followed by Wolves away in game week 20. Liverpool at home in 21. Yeah, tough game, and I think if you can kind of bench him for that game, then I probably would. If like it's not the be all and end all, like if you are forced to play Chris Wood in any kind of home game, I think Forest can maybe create chances. Like they are quite limited in kind of like their chance creation, but I wouldn't mind playing Chris Wood in any game. And then they've got Southampton at home in game week 22. Nice, mate. Yeah, I like it. I think if you've got Cunha and you've already got Isak and you've maybe got some like a João Pedro, like if you want to, and you don't want to come down to, I wouldn't trust someone like a Raul Jimenez. I think his minutes are too risky. Then I just look at Chris Wood. I think he's reliable. I think he's going to start more weeks than not, and he's on penalties. Like he's just going to continue to score goals, mate. So think about it. Cunha's Chris Wood to me just makes sense. Right, mates, that's it for today's video. So today we looked at my kind of transfer targets or players that are on my watch list for game week 18. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and drop a comment down below. Have a good day. Peace and love.